Hello and welcome to Waylander's Wandering, where it's Sunday the 24th of September 2023 and it's time for me to delve into the Sunday preview from Games Workshop once again. Kicking off with the biggie, it's time for Codex Space Marines for Warhammer 40,000 10th edition. Tyranids are running rampant across the galaxy, but the Space Marines are ready to fight back. The new Codex is packed with datasheets, detachment rules, background lore, beautiful miniatures and showcases, and Crusade content aplenty. This huge 216-page book contains 7 complete detachments with a wide variety of abilities and playstyles. Any Space Marine army can use these rules, including divergent chapters like the Space Wolves and Blood Angels. Want to see what happens when Black Templars try being sneaky for once? In a Vanguard spearhead? Now you can! Of course, not only does Codex Space Marines come in the standard edition, but there is a limited edition as well to just a very few copies, featuring unique cover art, foil details and fetching gilt page edges. But if you want this, you are going to need to be on the Games Workshop website super duper early, clicking that refresh button before 10 to get your copy, unless they do the queuing system again, in which case still be there early, my suggestion. Failing that, have a word with your friendly local game store. I guarantee that they will give you a better deal. Moving on, we're looking at the Captain with Jump Pack. The Space Marine Captains aren't just strategic masterminds, they're also indomitable warriors in their own right, and may prefer to smash straight through into enemy ranks strapped to a jump pack. This new kit gives you the option to send your eager leader flying into close combat with several different weapon choices, as well as both helmeted and unhelmeted options. Each miniature guaranteed to come with its own tactical rock. And a very fine miniature it is too. I kind of like it. I don't think it'll fit my army's theme, but I kind of like it. Might get one anyway. Next up, we're looking at a chaplain in Terminator armor. Delivers sermons on the front line safely with the latest personal priesthood protection. Try saying that 3 times fast. The chaplain in Terminator armor, this walking behemoth of righteous fury, is all but immovable on the battlefield, and that before he straps on his optional relic shield. He can even choose between 2 variants of his Crozius Arcanum. And for anyone uneducated out there, the Crozius Arcanum is Latin for big bloody stick. Next up, we're looking at the company heroes. Captains and chapter masters are often accompanied by some of the finest heroes of the chapter as their personal retinue. The squad's ancient carries a fluttering company banner to inspire his comrades and boost their objective control, while the company champion duels enemy leaders before they can even think of getting near your captain. Veterans, meanwhile, lay down a hail of bolt fire. This kit also includes a versatile captain with multiple options. And, yeah, these are kind of smexy as well, aren't they, boys and girls? Not forgetting, of course, the captain is the guy with the very nice tactical rock. Next up, we're looking at the new multi-part Terminator squad. The bulked-up Terminators, first seen in the Leviathan box set, are back with a full multi-part plastic kit, including classic weapons like the Heavy Flamer and Cyclone missile launcher. These 5 plastic Terminators are packed with options, including a wide range of heads and chain fists for all who want them, in case you're up against a legion of stubborn vehicles and fortifications. Fortifications. That's a weird new word we've just made up. Fortifications, boys and girls. Let's all go up against the fortifications. We of course mean fortifications. It's a different thing altogether. And something that will fit in with my own army is the Jump Pack Intercessors. Take to the skies and deliver hot, fresh chainsaw death at an indeterminate speed with a band of assault intercessors equipped with the latest in jump pack technology. These 5 multi-part plastic assault troops cause massive damage with the weight of their charge alone, while the sergeant has the option of a hand flamer, plasma pistol, power sword and power fist in place of his regular equipment. And again, each miniature guaranteed to come with his own tactical rock. Not sure if I'd prefer flying bases or a kind of more of a landing pose rather than the just jumped and taken off pose. But, you know, they're dynamic and they're kind of nice. I think we like them. Next up, we're going to be looking at a Stern Guard veteran squad. Space Marines with many years of service are organised into Stern Guard veteran squads, who wield finely tuned bolt guns and combi weapons. This new multi-part plastic kit features 5 veterans with your choice of Stern Guard bolt guns or combi weapons, and includes a brand new Pyre Cannon heavy weapon as the heavy weapon option. And yes, boys and girls, we do see a dude with a back banner back there. Takes me back to the days of my youth, way back in the 80s and 90s. My goodness, how times have not changed at all, because we've still got back banners. Don't use back banners, man. They look stupid. I'm not going to. Anyway, next up we're going to have, surprisingly for Space Marine release, a Lieutenant. I know we were not expecting to see another Lieutenant, because there are already somewhere in the region of 12,000 different miniatures. But this leader of Strike Force Augustus gets a standalone release ready to join your Space Marine squads and grant the powerful lethal hits ability to all their weapons. This intensely customizable kit can be equipped in many different ways, from the classic Power Fist and Plasma Pistol combo to Power Swords, Bolt Rifles, or the dreaded Pointy Finger, the Pointy Finger of Death. And again, each miniature guaranteed to come with his very own tactical rock. Can't beat a tactical rock. And no Space Marine release would be complete a new Dready Dread. And this case we're looking at the Brutalis Dreadnought. The best place for a gigantic walking death machine is right in the middle of the enemy, and the Brutalis Dreadnought is equipped to take full advantage of the sheer everything shredding power of its mighty fists and talons. God are the heavy guns of the Redemptor or the missiles of the Ballistus, this Dreadnought is squarely in the business of tearing things apart in close combat, and business is booming. Yeah, there's a big boy. Think I might have a look at that as well. Next up, we're looking at the Nerf Gun Squad. The Desolation Squad. So while your Brutalis Dreadnought is having the time of its life in melee combat, some long-range fire support is just the ticket to keep from being overwhelmed. The Desolation Squad is the final word in man-portable missile-flinging firepower, able to lay down a barrage of high explosives at an impressive range while sitting squarely behind the safety of some good, strong cover. They even have a choice between Super Frag and Super Correct missiles, so you can pick whatever's best against the unfortunate subject of your ire. You've got to love a Nerf gun, boys and girls. You've got to love a Nerf gun. God, I hate those models. Sorry, these models are excellent. Fantastic. Buy them. Buy them all. Next up, we're looking at Combat Patrol Space Marines. Take an elite flexible force into Combat Patrol and kickstart your Space Marine collection with this fine assemblage of powerful heroes. 5 Terminators, 5 Infernus Marines, a Terminator Captain, and a Terminator Librarian, whom you may have seen grinding up some Tyranids in the Leviathan box set from just a few months ago. Put out the damage of many more men and are as tough as nails to boot. That's 2 boot, 1 for each foot, left and right. And of course, you wouldn't be able to play your Space Marines without datasheet cards and Space Marine dice sets. As some handy accessories for your army, set of 99 reference cards featuring every Space Marine datasheet, separate combat patrol cards and an armory reference, a pack of 16 pearlescent blue plastic dice, metallic silver pips and a faction logo of the Adeptus Astartes on the 6. So yeah, I bet you a bucket of soapy frogs that those dice are somewhere in the region of 20 quid. 20 quid for 16 dice. Go for it, kids. You'll love it. Next up, we're looking at a chapter approved Leviathan mission deck. This pack of cards is an essential companion for playing match play games of Warhammer 40,000, first available in the Leviathan box set, so if you bought that, you don't need this, and now coming to shelves separately. Drawing cards from each deck allows you to quickly construct exciting missions and execute gambits to bring trailing players back into the game. And that's enough of Warhammer 40,000 for this week, so let's move on to the mighty Warhammer, the Horus Heresy. The furries are getting a look in for once, with the Space Wolves Legion Praetor. Praetors of the Space Wolves Legion are some of the brawniest fighters in the galaxy. As befits their station, they march to war in highly ornamented battle plate. This resin Praetor also mount the pelt of a Fens and Rizian wolves. There are no wolves on Fenris. that he has no doubt slain himself. On his shoulder and carries a heavy Fenrisian axe whose AP2 strikes will have no trouble slicing through Terminator armor. He comes with 2 head options, helmet or glorious flowing beard. Glorious flowing beard. And isn't he cool? I do like the etchings and the patterns on his armor. That is really cool. Very, very Nordic. He's a really nice miniature. But there are still no wolves on Fenris. And of course, if you're looking at your Mark 6 armoured troops there, here we have the upgrade set for the heads, featuring 5 different heads and 2 sergeant heads, 1 helmeted, 1 unhelmeted. Is it 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 9, 10. Yes, 9. Sorry, 9 different heads. God, my brain is going nowhere. And there we have the sergeant head as well. And they're looking pretty cool as well. I kind of like them. Shame I'm not a furry. But all you furry guys out there, look at the lovely toys. Look at these lovely toys. Moving away from the Horus Heresy, we are moving into the Black Library, where Gene Father from Guy Haley is getting a hardback release. The finest minds of the Imperium have come together at the behest of Belisarius' call to unlock the secrets of the Necron Pylon network and heal the great wound torn across the galaxy. This conclave of intellectuals is the greatest gathering of scientific genius in millennia. So naturally, a visionary like Fabius Bale must also be in attendance, whether he's invited or not. Possibly 2 of the greatest inventors of the galaxy pit their grey matter against each other in Gene Father, the latest Warhammer 40,000 novel by Guy Haley, as cold logic faces off against Bile's mad inspiration. This new novel is coming to Black Library shelves in a standard hardback, ebook and MP3 audiobook edition, but will also be graced with a beautiful special edition numbered and signed by the author. This edition contains an additional short story, To Speak as One, and is bound in a soft touch cover with alternate art, gilt page edges and a black ribbon page marker. Not forgetting, of course, they are also signed by Guy himself. And again, this may well be one of those where you need to get your butt into gear, get on the site early, get it bought. Let's beat those scalpers, kids. Let's beat those scalpers. Next up from the Black Library, we're looking at Wrath of the Lost, a Flesh Tearers novel from Chris Forrester. Between the great ripped high Philip Leviathan and the ever-present Paul of the Black Rage, things are looking pretty bad for the Flesh Tearers. Their vengeful campaign to secure Baal has left them drastically reduced in numbers, and even an influx of Primaris reinforcements they need to get recruiting pretty damn quick. Unfortunately, their home planet of Cretaceous has fallen eerily quiet, and there's precious little time to investigate. A chaplain and an apothecary, neither of whom have ever set foot on the Helmworld, must retrace the journey of their founder in A Wrath of the Lost by Chris Forrester, now returning to shelves in a new paperback edition. Also from the Black Library, a classic Gaunt's Gold tale returns in a brand new audio book in Dan Abnett's Only in Death. Commanded to hold a critical pass, the Tanith First and Only will need to watch for enemies without and ghosts within to survive their stay at Hinter House, and conquering their fears is only the start. I do like Gaunt's Ghost books. Think I'll get that. Yes, I'm going to get it. Moving on, the Eisenhorn Omnibus is coming to paperback for our German readers, following the complete saga of the Black Library's most famous Inquisitor in Dan Abnett's Eisenhorn the Omnibus, now available in German language release for the first time. The massive tome collects his 4 main adventures, Xenus, Malleus, Hereticus, and the Magos, alongside 4 short stories, Regia Occulta, Missing in Action, Black Cloth for a Crown Additional, and the Keeler Image. Across nearly 1,000 pages of this classic Warhammer 40,000 fiction. Also for our German readers, we are looking at Pilgrims of Fire. A mission from the Adeptus Sororitas joins the cursed Indomitus fleet Quintus in the Pilgrim of Fire by Justin D. Hill, author of the Cadian Honor series. Sister Helvice may be a battle sister, but she's not inclined to rush right into martyrdom, not until she's found a higher purpose than her death may serve anyway. This epic tale is soon to be available in German in paperback format. Our French readers, of course, are getting War Boss from Mike Brooks. Mike Brooks' classic story of an anarchic orc succession crisis comes to paperback in French for the first time as War Boss tells the tale of 6 bosses rushing forward to fill the power vacuum left by the now proper dead Gasrot Goresnapper. We all know the biggest and greenest of them all will win, but who exactly will that be? And our final entry this week is the Warhammer Age of Sigmar eShort Week of 2023. Another Black Library eShort Week is here to bring bite-sized tales from the mortal realms with 5 new short stories from Jonathan Green, Rory James, Guy Closter, C.L. Werner and Noah van Guyen. I really need to learn how to say Noah's name. Noah, mate, how do you say that? Each story delves into the myriad mysteries of the Age of Sigmar as beasts, demons and mortal men are caught in a never-ending spiral of chaos and survival. Each story can be bought separately as they release, but to get all 5 for the price of 4, opt for the full week subscription. And that's it from this week. What a fantastic release schedule we're looking at after, a few disappointing weeks, really. Codex Space Marines and a load of Astartes bits and bats there, some nice Horus Heresy stuff, and reading materials up the yin yang. Fantastic, if at all possible. I highly suggest that you get your new releases ordered from your friendly local game store. These guys really are the heart and soul of this hobby. My personal favourite is the awesome Mighty Lancer Games down there in Bridlington. It's by the seaside, guys. You'll also get 20% off mostly of all your orders compared to Games Workshop's RRP. They will give me a tiny little kickback if you use my QR code on screen or the link in the description below. And you'll get 20% off. They'll get a new customer. I can't see where anybody loses out in this. If you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, leave me a comment down below. Equally, if you didn't like it, leave a dislike and a comment telling me to shut my stupid fat mouth. I won't cry. Well, I won't cry where anyone can see me. Anyway, once again, you have been awesome. I have been Waylander. This is the end of the road for today. Thank you to my Ko-fi and Patreon subscribers. Goodbye.